It was a calm morning in the small town of Green Hollow. 11-year-old Sophie sat under the shade of her favorite oak tree, reading a book. As the wind blew, she thought she heard something unusual, a faint whisper. She looked around but saw no one. Just as she was about to return to her book, the whisper came again, this time clearer. "We've been waiting for you, Sophie." Sophie jumped to her feet, heart pounding. She looked at the massive oak tree in front of her, wide-eyed. "Who's there?" she asked nervously. To her astonishment, the tree's bark twisted into a face. "It's us, the trees," the oak replied in a slow, creaking voice. "We have much to teach you and the other children." The next day, Sophie gathered her friends, and they met under the oak tree. As they sat in a circle, the trees began to speak in unison. "Photosynthesis," they began, "is our way of making food. We take in sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce oxygen and glucose." The children listened in amazement as the trees explained how they create the air everyone breathes. Soon, the trees taught the children about the water cycle. "Water is our lifeline," said a tall pine. "We absorb it through our roots from the ground. It travels up our trunks and branches, nourishing our leaves." The trees described how rain falls, flows into rivers, evaporates, and forms clouds again. A cycle that keeps life going. Sophie imagined water moving like magic through the sky and soil. Days passed, and the children visited the trees daily, eager for more lessons. "We are guardians of the planet," the trees explained one sunny afternoon. "Without us, the soil would erode, and the air would be filled with harmful gases." The children learned how trees provide habitats for animals and maintain balance in ecosystems. Sophie began to see the trees as protectors of the earth, not just silent bystanders. One afternoon, Sophie asked, "How do you stand so tall and strong?" The trees chuckled. "It's our roots. They spread deep underground, holding us in place and connecting us to one another." The children were fascinated to learn about the vast network of roots that allowed trees to share nutrients and water. It was as if the trees had their own hidden city beneath the ground. The trees then turned to the topic of air. "We breathe just like you," said a maple tree. "But instead of lungs, we use our leaves. Through tiny openings called stomata, we absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen." The children were stunned to realize how essential trees were to keeping the air clean and fresh. Sophie promised to be more mindful of the air she breathed. One evening, a terrible storm hit the town. The children rushed to the forest, worried about their newfound friends. Several trees had fallen, their roots torn from the earth. "We need help," the oak tree groaned. The children sprang into action, helping to replant saplings and clear debris. They realized that the trees were not just teachers but also in need of care and protection. After the storm, the children organized a tree planting day. With the guidance of the trees, they learned how to plant new saplings and care for them. "You are the future," the trees said. "We will not live forever, but with your help, the forests can thrive for generations to come." The children planted hundreds of trees, excited to watch them grow over the years.